Sometimes you walk into a thrift store and you just start pulling $50 bills off of the shelves. And that is exactly what happened to me today. I go into a thrift store that I've gone to many times, and I'm going shelf by shelf. I come across this group of school-related books, thinner paperbacks, and I find a book that's going for, I believe, around $50, and with a great rank. And I found another 3 or 4 of those. So I found at least 3 to 4 40 to $50 books. I found at least 3 that were $50. Legit 50. Some might even go for more. And all these books are selling like crazy. So they're current editions and they're selling for very high prices. To make my day even better, it was a 50% off back to school sale off of everything. They have everything, all the books tagged with different colors. So usually it's a tag sale. It's usually two different colors off. When I go in, 50% off. This was everything. So I could look at every single book regardless of the color of the sticker, which was awesome, which I'm not usually able to do. And I was able to get 50% off. Now, most of these textbooks or school-related books were anywhere between $2 to $4. Most of them I actually paid $1 on because they were at $1.99 with half off. So on average, I paid about $1, probably barely a little over $1 for the books. And I counted them up. I bought 48 books to send into FBA. And I paid $56. I bought a couple of kids' books, just a little bit over $1 each because there were a few that were $3 and $4. So just a couple though, so that brought up the price a little bit more. But nonetheless, 48 books for $56. Like I said, at least 3 to 4 books that are going for $50 alone. So one book will probably cover almost the entire cost of the sourcing trip. And then I got 47 other books. So I found a lot of quick sellers as well, lower profit, anywhere between $2 to $4 profit, but it will sell really fast. And I just found a ton of $20+ books. It was really something. I want to show you some of them, which I'll probably do when I get back home. You just never know, guys. Sometimes you go to a thrift store a lot and you don't find those kind of books, and then suddenly you do. And usually it has to do with back to school coming because people are donating their school books because they're done. But I don't see that a ton at thrift stores. It's just sometimes I see that, especially books this valuable and so many. It was a great sourcing trip. So let me show you some of the books that I got. Here's one of the good books I found. This is one, the rank is not exceptional. I think it's under 700,000, but there's not very many copies and about $35. This one is one of those more hardcover, legit textbooks that people are always talking about. And I believe it's $35. Something like that. It's a good one though. Again, $4, half off, $2. Sending that in. I have 33 items already for my next shipment, so I'm gonna add 16, assuming that it doesn't get split. If it does, well, then I'll have to deal with it, but hopefully it doesn't, and I can send 49 items. So I picked 16 of the better ones that I want to send in soon so that I can get them up and selling right away. So I picked out some better ones here to show you. Here's another one, Rethinking Disability. This one, not kidding, $51, the lowest FBA offer. And it jumps up a bit too. And there's another one, 51, it jumps up to like 70, I believe. But at any rate, it's a legit $51 book. It's thin. It only cost me $1. So these are the kind of things I was finding. And it was just sort of blowing my mind today. This is the highest priced one. I think the rank is below 30,000 on top of it. This one is going lowest FBA, guys, $68. $68. This one was $2.99, half off, so $1.50, and I'm gonna be able to sell it for 68 bucks. It should sell pretty quick. I'll look to see, I forgot how many FBA offers there are, but I'll probably want to move it kind of fast. So 68, 70 bucks off of $1.50 is incredible return. And it was just kind of a crazy day today finding these kind of books. Here's another good one, Women Making Music. This one's going for about 20 bucks, and then it jumps up to about 25. The rank is not as great, but nonetheless, it's a good buy, and it cost $1, so half off $1. This one was kind of a weird one. When I looked it up, it had a 2.3, 2.5 rank averaged out over the last 3 months based on FBA scan. And it's a real thin one here, and it was only 79 cents, so about 40 cents for this. There's only 2 offers, and based upon Camel, it has sold 2 copies in the last year. However, the interesting part is it's going for $2,300. That's the lowest price. Now I looked on Camel for the price history, and it's been at that price for a little while. It did drop significantly down to, I believe, like $9 for a very brief period of time, probably less than a week, and then it shot up. And before that, it was up at like hundreds of dollars. So over the last 12 months, there's been two price dips. One, it went down low was like about $4, which was almost like 10 months ago or something. But since then, it's been hundreds of dollars, except for that one dip down to about $9. I have a feeling though, and trying to match up the sales with the price, it seems like people only bought it when it was at those two lower prices. I'm not exactly sure, but I know for sure no one's going to spend $2,300, $2,400 on this book. So I'll probably list it really low, like maybe $100, and some of those other ones might drop down with me, but you never know. I might be able to catch a sale. If not, the book only cost me 40 cents, and be like 15 cents to send it in, store it for a little bit, maybe just try to get a decent sale out of it. It was one of those weird ones. Sometimes either the repricer's gone wild, or people think that because there's only 2 copies that someone will actually pay that kind of money. Aside from finding almost 50 books and a lot of really great school books, another interesting thing that happened is there was someone there who was another bookseller scanning books towards the end of my trip, and another guy I'd never seen before. I've only seen one other person at this thrift store scanning, and that was months ago, and I haven't seen him since. So it's always rare for me to see people at thrift stores in general, but especially at these smaller thrift stores. It's always weird when I see somebody, because I kind of feel like if there's people reselling, they're definitely not hitting up the places that I go to, and I go to a lot of them. So this guy was finding some books, and then I'd already gone through whole 3-4 entire bookcases, and so he kind of went back and went through the same ones I had gone through, and he pulled out a bunch of stuff, but I don't know what he was looking at or what information he was using, because I already went through everything, and there just wasn't much else there. Now, granted, everyone has their own way of doing things. Some people don't mind super long tail books. They're willing to sit on stuff for a year, year and a half, whatever it is. Also, there's the possibility that he's selling on eBay. Maybe he's putting books together, selling them as a group. I don't know. Everybody has their own strategy. Some people even sell locally. I can't assume that his strategy is a bad one, or whatever it may be. But it's always interesting to me, just to kind of see what people are doing. I usually don't engage someone in conversation because I'm working, and just like they're working. So unless someone talks to me, I just let them do their thing. Thankfully, I had already gone through all of those sections and found all of those really valuable books before he got there. So that was just kind of luck on my part. And then I went through a few more bookcases after I saw him, and I found some other stuff too. It was a great haul, and I hope you guys are out there sourcing and just kind of work hard to get as many books as you can in before back to school starts to rev up. I've noticed an uptick in sales in July, possibly due to back to school. I'm not sure, but my sales have been really solid in July, despite seeing a lot of people posting on Facebook groups about how July has been slow for books, but I've had the opposite experience. So don't worry about what people say about that stuff. Just find good books, i.e. profitable books that will sell relatively fast, and you should be in good hands. Regardless of the kind of books you're sending in, you should see an uptick as we go back to school here, or as back to school comes around, and sort of the prime time is about 10 days, 12 days into August, based upon last year, is when it starts to kind of rev up a lot. And once you're halfway into August, third week of August, it should be just a couple weeks of kind of craziness. And I'm interested to see how many sales I'm going to be doing a day, because I've been hitting 10 sales on some days here in July. I'm hoping that I double or triple that in the prime days of back to school in August. So get out there and find some good stuff. And as always, remember, keep booking.